Well, good evening, everyone. Good to be in your companies. Once again, this is your friend, Bishop-elect Edlin Scott, and I'm excited about the opportunity to share with you tonight. I'm really and truly excited about the opportunity to share with you tonight. So I want you to go ahead and invite your friends, colleagues to join you. In fact, join us for this very exciting topic tonight. We're doing part two of how to spot a good leader. How do you spot a good leader? How do you identify a good leader? Is what we're going to be talking about tonight. So I want you to go ahead and like and share as you come on in on the broadcast. We can be seen on two platforms. We're on Facebook, the Voice of Deliverance organization page, then Edlin Scott, my own personal page. And of course, I've got a YouTube channel. I want everybody to subscribe to this channel, Edlin Scott's YouTube channel. I am totally excited about what God is doing in my life. God is really blessing by leaps and, of course, by bounds. I have entered a season of like the blessings of Obed-Edom, where God has blessed him to an extent where the king had to recognize that something was going on in Obed-Edom's life. Abinadab had the Ark of the Covenant for 5 years and nothing happened. But Obed-Edom got the Ark of the Covenant for 3 months. And in 3 months, God blessed his entire household, some 70 persons or so. God blessed them in a way where King David heard of what was going on in his life. And listen, he came to see what was actually happening. And so I want to say good evening to all of you. As you come on in and join the broadcast, just go ahead and say where you're watching me from. That'll be absolutely nice so we can see the areas that we are covering. And I'm really thanking God for what the Lord is doing. You know, I want you to really hang around for this broadcast tonight. I'm about 30 minutes of your time or so. 30 minutes of your time as we share this word with you on tonight. I want you to pray for me. I'm headed to India. I'm headed to Visakhapatnam, India in the month of November. I begin preparing myself for that assignment that God is placing us in, as God has opened them doors for us that we want to walk through. I believe this is the season of mega. You know, when the year started, I didn't know that I was going to India. I was praying about it for 2 years, but the doors hadn't swung open yet. And then when the year began, God said to me that this is the year of increase. This is the year of expansion. This is the year of changing in your life. And I'm beginning to see just what the Lord said. I'm beginning to see it materialize. And so I want you to pray for me as we are endeavoring to do a work for the Lord. Another door is opening for us to do some more of the phenomenal leadership teaching. And so it has been my desire to do an in-person. I had an opportunity about a week ago to do an in-person service with the phenomenal leadership, and it really was exciting. And so another door is opening, and so we're going to talk about it a little bit more as we kind of set it up and walk into the doors. I don't think I want to take on another day. I'm doing it twice a week now, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so a Friday door is open to me. And so I'm trying to see how I can condense this all, either move the Thursday to the Friday or move the Friday to the Thursday and be able to kill two birds with one stone. See, it's important to make sense. It's important to make sense. As a leader, you have to make sense. And then as a leader, you have to if you want to make an impact, you have to know when and how to do that. And so I don't just want to be sweating to say that I'm busy, but whatever investment that I'm investing, I want it to have the maximum amount of impact. In other words, I want to get the maximum for the minimum, the very minimum interjection. And so I want you to pray for us as we do that. And then there's some preaching engagements that are coming up in the month of June. So we're gonna put all of it by next week. We're gonna have all of it coming up on the screen so you can know when we're doing stuff. I've spoken to a prayer breakfast at Cornerstone Church of God on Finlayson Street, and some doors open for us. They invited us back to speak to their camp meeting in June. Now the funny thing is, I'm speaking on the 29th and the 30th. Of course, those of you that follow me, the 30th of June is my birthday. But hey, what better way to celebrate it than with a preaching engagement? So I consented to it, and so we're headed to Cornerstone for 2 nights in their camp meeting, the 29th and the 30th of June, for that time of refreshing. So, like I said to you, this is our season of increase. This is our time of increase, and we really believe in God for this. So continue to pray for us. All right, let's jump right into it. Now that we got all the preliminaries out of the way, let's jump into tonight's teaching. Like and share. Everybody, like and share. I want come on, right across the board. Everybody that's watching me tonight, like and share. Just share this. Share this. We're talking about how to spot a good leader. I believe that everybody is entitled to good leadership. Whether you're naughty or you're nice, you're entitled to good leadership. How, Pastor Scott, how do I spot a good leader? How do I identify? How do I know that I'm in the presence of good leadership? I said this last on Tuesday, and I believe this with all my heart. If you do not like me, you don't qualify to lead me. If the person that is your leader don't like you, they don't qualify to lead you. But the thing that you like is the thing that you add value to. The thing that you don't like, or the person that you don't like, you abuse. And so the reason why a lot of people are being abused in church circles is because more than likely leadership don't like you. And things that people don't like, they don't add value to. But you can spot a good leader. When you can spot a good leader, that's a place where you can grow. All right, so on Tuesday, we talked about the number one thing that identifies a good leader is accountability. It's the person that you're following or you're part of that circle. Are they willing to admit when they're wrong and take responsibility for their actions? If they are a person that is willing to take responsibilities for their action, you got your eyes on a good leader. They're accountable. The second thing is, are they a good communicator? Can they explain the vision? Can they talk? When they share an idea or share a vision, is it easily understood? Is it low enough for you to understand and not too high for you to just miss and not connect with it? So they got to be accountable. They got to be a good communicator. And do they have empathy? Do they care about people? Do they put themselves, if that was me? And that's how I look at life. I look at life that way. I look at life not as that's only going to happen to you. I look at life as if that could happen to me. And what kind of response am I expecting? How do what do I look to receive in return? So to spot a good leader, you must be able to see them as somebody that is accountable. You must be able to see them as someone that can communicate the vision. And then you must be able to see them as somebody that have empathy, that care about other people, put themselves in other people's shoes. And then the final one that we ended with on Tuesday was a good leader. A good leader is a person with a growth mindset. A lot of people look at life like this. They feel like they are achieving, they're meeting their goals, they're meeting their quota. And so they're satisfied to say, hey, I'm getting it done. I'm on the top of my game. My organization is the best on this block. My group is achieving the best in this organization. But are you being the best that you can be? When your child comes home with an A, it doesn't mean that they're being the best that they can be. A growth mindset always wants to do more, always wants to go further, always wants to expand wider. The growth mindset. So, to support a good leader, number one, must be accountable. Number two, they must be a good communicator. Number three, they must be a caring person. Number four, they must have a growth mindset. If you're going to attach yourself to any environment, it must be an environment that can stretch you and an environment that can grow you. It must be an environment that can grow you. Every seed that was in the hand of the sower had the potential of growth. The problem was where they fell. Now, are you falling in a ground where you can't grow? So, tonight on the broadcast, we're going to go into the fifth thing that identifies good leadership. And that is inspirational. When you identify a person that inspires people, see, that's what it's all about. Inspires people. Not do the job for them, but inspire them to do the job. Inspire people to become all that God intends for them to be. Everybody has the potential of being great. Everybody has the potential of being great. Now, the leader's responsibility is to wake up. I heard somebody say today, there's an old song that they used to sing, This Little Light of Mine. And one of the voices of that song says, hide it under a bushel, no. But this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And so the Bible says a city that is sat on a hill cannot be hid. The job of a leader is not to hide talent, but to display talent and to inspire talent. Good leaders inspire people to try something new. Good leaders inspire people to try something new. So if you want to identify a good leader, look for someone that is inspiring people to try something new, that pushes people to go further. The person that pushes people to go further. Are you being pushed to do more? Are you being pushed to go further, or are you or are you being comforted to say, you're in front? You don't have to push. You already in the front. Good leaders inspire people to strive for better results. To strive for better results. I'm often around the campus that my wife is the principal at. And I think she has an absolutely beautiful team of professionals that work with her on the campus that she is in charge of. And so I concluded when I first met them, I said, boy, this crew don't need nothing. And then the Lord said to me, anything that's doing well can do better. Anything that's doing well can do better. And that's how you have to look at your life. If you were successful in 2022, you can be more successful. If you hit the scales at 9 in 2022, in 2023, go to 9.1. But keep going higher. You can do this. If you look at the world, everything, cars are going fast and going faster. Planes are going fast, but they're going faster. Boats, things, everything is trying to be more. If you look at energy, the things that were created last year were energy efficient. This year, they are more energy efficient. Everything is going better. And so should we as believers. So leaders inspire people to strive for better results. Leaders aren't afraid to take on difficult tasks. Watch the person in the group that is not afraid to take on a difficult task. That's your leader. It is easy to do what you know how to do. It is exciting and challenging to do stuff that you don't know what to do. What, at worst, you know what's going to happen at the end of the day? At least you're going to be able to know something more than you did the day before. So, to spot a good leader, you find the person that inspires people to take difficult tasks. Face the music. They inspire the team. They inspire people around them. Good leaders inspires people around them. An inspirational person could eventually become a great leader. Be sure that the individual is also doing their job. Not only are they doing their job, but they are pushing others to work. A good leader does their job and then pushes everybody else to do their job. You're not a good leader if you just, making sure that everybody's doing their job and you're not doing your job. But a good leader in this hand takes care of their job, and with this hand, they're helping other people get their job done. So, to spot a good leader, you look for the person that is busy, helping, and still doing what it is that they are supposed to be doing. The next thing that identifies a good leader is a good leader is a risk taker. A good leader is a risk taker. Someone put it on the screen for me. A good leader, or just put risk taker. That's how you identify a good leader. When you want to know whether you're in the presence of good leadership, are they a risk taker? Leaders are risk takers. They see a challenge or something to overcome. They see a challenge as something to overcome. David, as a boy, he came to the battle. He heard Goliath talking, and he saw that as a challenge that he could have overcame. So he went out there and he took the risk. And the risk paid off. So, good leaders are risk takers. They see a challenge as something to overcome, not as an insurmountable obstacle. Something that I don't care how much I try, I don't care what kind of help I get, I can't do this. No, a good leader does not see it as an insurmountable obstacle or an insurmountable problem. I don't care what we have, I don't care who we have, it's too big. Saul saw Goliath as an insurmountable obstacle. David, a mere child, saw the same thing as something that he could have overcame. Good leaders are risk takers. the harder the task is, the more creative a good leader becomes. No matter. And I tell people this all the time. I said, if you can think of an idea, there is a way to make that a reality. Your mind cannot go beyond the capacity of creating. In other words, you can't think of something that there isn't a way to make it happen. There is absolutely a way to make it happen. So, when you find a hard task, a good leader just gets more creative. They just get more, find different ways to make it happen. A risk taker is often also a growth-minded person. A risk taker is often a growth-minded person. Now, they don't take the risk without reason. When David went after Goliath, David's reason was, number one, he can't talk with God like that. He cannot curse the people of God like that. Number two, here is an opportunity for me to marry the king's daughter. Number three, here is an opportunity for me to free my entire family. So a good leader doesn't take risk without a reason. There is a reason that is pushing them to do what they do. And so you identify good leadership by their ability to take risks, and then they have the ability to explain to you why they are doing what they're doing. They don't just, I don't know, I just doing it. No. They know why they're doing what it is that they're doing. All right? So there is a reason behind it. They want to go outside of their comfort zone so that they can achieve higher and better goals. Listen, I told them last week, I did a presentation, and I said to them, nobody wants to be a part, Nelson, of a small dream. Nobody wants to be a part of a small dream. Nobody wants to work for a little company. Everybody wants to work for a big company or be a part of a big dream. Do you want to be a part? Imagine this. If you are part of a picture that is as small as a passport picture, nobody's going to see you. You're not going to be able to figure out who all is in the picture. But I want to be a part of a billboard picture, just spread out across the highway so you can see it from miles ahead. I want to be a part of a big dream. I don't want to serve a little God. I want to serve the big God. I don't want to serve a God that I got to pick up and brush off and clean off. I want to serve a God that can pick me up, brush me off, and clean me up. That's who I want to serve. And so that's why the thief was so inspired on the cross, and he said, hey. Now, I deserve to die. But this man do not deserve to die. He said, sir, when you come into your kingdom, remember me. Where I'm going is a small place, but you got a bigger place. So when you come into your kingdom, remember me. Because he wanted to be a part of something big. And so, to spot a leader, you find the person, all right, that wants to go outside of their comfort zone. Go outside of their comfort zone. In order so that they can achieve higher and better goals. They are little stuff. But I want to do big things. All right? Taking a risk isn't about some things many individuals are comfortable with. When your group is comfortable with a situation, that ain't taking no risk. That's not taking a risk. When you are employed or when you're employees, you find someone that shows you fearlessness in the face of uncertainty, you should take note of that person. David heard the whole story about how capable Goliath was to kill him, but he still was fearless. A lot of times we don't believe because we never saw it happen or never heard it happen. That don't make no sense. Not because you've never heard it happen doesn't mean that God can't do it. Yeah, he still can do it. All he can do is do that. It's just that you've never experienced it. So David said to them, hey, now, y'all feel like a lion can't be killed, but I just killed a lion and a bear. I just killed a lion and a bear. Y'all think that I just killed a lion and a bear. You only heard about it. You only never saw no one conquer him or someone the size of Goliath. I could do it because to me, he looked just like a lion and a bear. And when you find a person that is fearless when they are faced with uncertainties, take note of that person. That's the making of a good leader. Now, not all risks are successful. And I like this. I like this piece. Not all risks are successful. And not everything that you do as a leader is going to be successful. And I always used to think that because I didn't succeed at it meant that I failed. Not necessarily. Sometimes it is just good enough to have the experience to know it can't be done that way. And do you know, some experiences are for a bigger presentation. And so you mess up on the small scale to prepare you for the big scale. Did you get that? On the small scale, you can mess it up. But on the big scale, you can't mess it up. So you could lose at the trials. And you see it in sports. Track and field, for instance. Sometimes people just want to qualify. Just qualify. To win the heats ain't no biggie. You just need to qualify. You save your energy for the finals. When the finals come, then you open it up and you let it all hang out. Not all risks are successful. Teams need to know that success isn't always about the goal. You know, as Pentecostal pastors, we are so focused on the goal. I got to hit that goal. There got to be 5,000 people in the church or I'm not successful. There got to be 500 people in the congregation. There got to be standing room only for me to be successful. No. And let me give you a case in point. God is doing so much in our ministry right now. God is doing so much in our ministry right now. There are some key people. We just celebrated our convention last week. And some of our key people got sick. And when I spoke with them the night when they couldn't come out to church, back in the day, you would have not seen them anymore for the convention. But as soon as they got better, they showed back up into the convention. In fact, we had a member that was in hospital. And we went to check on them. And in checking on them, you know, they said, I have my offering for the convention. And to me, right, I didn't take it. I said, listen, what's important is getting out of this hospital. But the level of growth, and I respected that. I don't think this convention was as big as it was in the past, but it was more successful because the mindset and the level of the people have grown tremendously. And a lot of times in the Pentecostal circle, we measure success by numbers. No. I measure success by when people around me are growing beyond me. I said this in my presentation. My assignment as a teacher, my assignment as a presenter is I want to grow people out of my life. You watching me tonight, I want to grow you. I want to inspire you so much that you said, listen, Pastor Scott, I need so much more. You just outgrow me. Now, that's going to be hard for you to outgrow me because I am constantly growing. I'm constantly looking for things outside of me to grow me. So, success is not always about the goal. The experience should be more important. The experience of it. The experience of it. The experience of what it is that you're doing should be more important than the goal. All right. If a risk can be pulled out, that's a bonus. If whatever you risk doing or whatever you see them risk doing, you pull it off, that's a bonus. But the fact that there are other options to achieve something, that's even more important. In other words, I was watching the recent Rifter, and I was watching the high jump. And most of the high jumpers was jumping differently, but they were all getting over the stick. And see, we are so stuck on doing things a particular way that we don't even try to learn another way. But there are so many other ways to get things done. And so the understanding should be not so much the goal, but the different ways to achieve the goal. The Bible said, he that winneth a soul must be wise. Now, is winning a soul by quoting the whole chapter the only way to win a soul? By winning a soul, you got to catch them on the street walking. Is that the only way to win a soul? You got to be open. You got to be open. There are so many different methods. There's tracks. There's radio programs. There are religious signs on your cars. The way you present yourself in life to people. There are so many different ways. And so you can't get so bogged down into one particular way. So, if a risk can be pulled off, that'll be a bonus. But the fact that there are other options of achieving something is so very important. All right? So, when you see somebody that's willing to take a risk, because getting the job done is so very important, you're willing to step up. I was doing some work, and I didn't think I needed a hammer today. I was doing some work today. I didn't think I needed a hammer. And so I didn't bring a hammer from home. But I got to a place where I couldn't get this job done without, I needed a hammer to pull something out in order to put something in. And so I couldn't get it done. I really couldn't get it done. And so rather than scrap the whole job, I began to look around the room and saw what I had in the room. And so I saw a cutlass, and I stick the cutlass behind the thing, and I tap it down, and I was able to use the hammer, hatchet as the claw of a hammer, and I got the thing out. See, that's what leaders do. Leaders, watch it. Leaders do not get on the job, and because a piece of tool is missing, they do no work. They just sit down all day. You know, you get on the job and the current is off. And so you just sit down with your hand on your chin because there ain't nothing I can do because the current is off. You got to think. You got to think. Get creative. All right. Our final thing that identifies good leadership, and I'm wrapping up. I'm doing this in 2 minutes. The final thing that wraps up good leadership is leaders are strong evaluators. A good leader doesn't always do things right. A good leader doesn't always do things right, but they are always achieving good results on a consistent basis. Because leaders don't know everything. Leaders are not here for everyone, but leaders are here for someone. So the qualities of, or to spot a good leader, you look for the person that is always doing good things on a consistent basis. Now, I know in church circles, we are very quick to spot the wrong that people do, and we latch on to the wrong. And so before we talked about the 10 things you do right, we'll remember the one thing that you did wrong. And so the conversation will be about the one thing that you did wrong and not the 10 things that you did right. A good leader is someone that is achieving good results consistently. This is due to their growth mindset and their positive risk-taking behavior. When you have a good growth mindset, you're going to always be achieving. You watch the person that you don't have to go and tell them. There are people that will walk in the door and they'll step over trash. You know why? Because the janitor got to move it. You got to step over trash because the janitor got to move it. Come on. That is just something that anybody can do. Oh, that's not my job description. If it's going to make the team better, just do it. Strong evaluators are people that are growth-minded and they are positive risk takers. Their skills as an effective communicator, their optimism, their inspirational mindset are also critical in making them a leader. You notice the ones we talk about, all those little things from 1 to 7, all of those things colliding together is all of what is making a good leader. A lot of people measure the goalposts of success by how many or by the success that you achieve in one small area. But it's not so. It's everything. How well you communicate, how well you're a risk taker, how well you help out others, how well you take responsibility for your wrong and different things. All right? How do they work with their fellow team members? You want to spot a good leader? How well do they work with others? A good leader is not just a delegator. You do that, you do that, you do the other thing, you do the other thing. How well do you work with people? How well do you get along with people? How do you manage or how do you rate the experiences when they engage with people? How do you rate them? Do you rate them as a good person, a good communicator, as a person with a good heart, as a person that takes responsibility? How do you rate them? A lot of people look good until you see them around other people. A lot of people look good. It's like the Bahamian flag. You will drive around town, you see a flag, oh, the flag looks pretty. Until you see how the real flag looks, the color of the real flag, then you'll be like, wow, how did they get away with that for such a long time? How do they look around other people? All right, so let's just run quickly back over it all. How do I spot pastor? How do I spot a good leader? How do I look at somebody among my team and say, you are a good leader. Let me focus my attention and helping you develop some things that is in you. Number one, are they accountable? Are they accountable? When everybody has to point the finger around the room, are they the one will say, I'm the blame. I caused it. Or they'll take the blame for it. When they have an idea, can they explain what is being done or what needs to be done? Can they communicate? Do they care about other people? See, a leader is not the person that's trying to get across the finish line first. A leader is the person who's trying to get everybody across the line. A leader is not concerned that I go first. A leader is concerned that everybody makes it over. And then, what kind of mindset do they have? Are they all about growth? Or are they about maintain and control? Keep things the way they are. We ain't going to go too big. We can stay right here because this working. It was relevant for yesterday. But today, it may be outdated. How inspirational are they? How well are they able to inspire others to work, even while they are working? And then, how great are they at risk taking? Are they easily frightened? And then, are they a strong evaluator? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Absolutely beautiful program tonight. I pray that you've enjoyed. I pray that I've been a blessing. I pray that I've shared something that can help you identify whether you're in the right place or you're in the wrong place. Because it's very important. Very important. If you want to grow, you have to be in the right place, under the right person. Because everything John Maxwell says, rise and falls on leadership. Go back, listen to this again, get a better understanding, take down your notes, and I'm sure it's going to help you. Send it to somebody. Say, listen to this. And I'm sure it's going to be a blessing to you. Thank you so much. Have an absolutely beautiful evening. Join me this coming Saturday morning at 8 o'clock for Morning Glory Saturday. There is a word from the Lord concerning you in our Morning Glory Saturday. Tonight's teaching was all about how do you spot, how do you identify a good leader? Because everybody's entitled to good leadership. God bless you. Have a good night.